good, everybody? It's Abwon, and this is the Full Court Press, where every season is the NBA season. And for episode 3, I got my man. No.
I'm right here.
Wait, what do you? I'm gonna keep all that in. I got my man, his Steakness. If you're part of NBA Twitter, Black Twitter, you definitely know about him. A bunch of his tweets were featured on ESPN Sports. What was that? Sports Nation. Sports Nation. Sports Illustrated. Him and I went to a Celtics game. We met Brandon Bass. He was a player on the Celtics at the time. He plays for the Clippers right now. So,
right.
And didn't you have like a little Twitter thing with Snotty dripping?
It wasn't as epic as that guy who was in Temecula.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But we had little petty differences here and there, but Snotty ain't nobody, man.
Yeah, I know. He's not even like an internet troll anymore. But anyway, this is my man, his Steakness. He's a Celtics fan, a fellow Celtics fan. Introduce yourself for everybody, then we can get into this topic. Go ahead, do your thing, man.
Yes, for all of you who don't know, my name is Stank. That's what I go by. At name is his Stankness. I love the Celtics. I love the Eagles. I do claim the Kansas City Royals. A lot of people made me out to be a bandwagon Royals fan. I've been claiming them since 2010 when they wasn't good. So when they finally won, I was legit. Anyway, I'm very passionate about sports. I love to go in with tweets. If you follow me, you know that. I'm very opinionated. I don't mind going against the grain. A lot of people on Twitter like to go with popular opinions, but if I feel differently, I don't hesitate to let people know. That's me.
Word. That's my guy. Make sure y'all follow him at his Stankness. We're going to have all of that in the description, and on the video, you're going to see all the tweets and stuff on the screen if you haven't seen it already. But anyway, so episode 3, this episode is called The Boogieman for a reason. Stank and I, we discuss a lot on the Voxer app. We talk a lot about basketball, about the Celtics, about any NBA team out there, NBA players. And right now, the biggest name on the trade market is DeMarcus Cousins, who, in our opinion, is the best big man in the league. Even though I think Anthony Davis is going to take that title from him in a few years if he could just get his health together. But for right now, it's Boogie. And last week, well, not even last week, Stank and I have been discussing Boogie coming to the Celtics. Pretty much, we feel like he's a guy that could take us to the next level. Now, our Celtics are really good right now. But I feel like Boogie could definitely take us to the point where we could challenge the Cavs to get back to go to the finals. But last week, I don't know if I got a notification from Team Stream about Boogie just like suddenly talking about he's gonna sign some contract extension with the Kings.
I was perplexed when I saw that myself.
Word.
Yeah.
So do you think that's a valid article?
I mean, it's like this. I think Boogie might be looking at it. It might possibly be some truth to it. I'm thinking he might be considering the money of it and be like, oh, snap, man. Like, the CBA is good. The cap went up. I can really rake up all this money. There's a whole lot more than what I've been getting, so he could be looking at it that way. But I just looked at Boogie the last few years. He'd be unhappy, spazzing out about a myriad of things. So I'm like, if he just think about it in this, in his total situation and his total completeness, I believe he'll realize that he don't need to do that. So that's just in case if it is truth to it. It may be. That's my thoughts on that.
Word. Yeah. Now, speaking of...
I hope not, though.
Yeah, I hope not, too, because I really want Danny Ainge to make that deal happen.
Right.
But speaking about
Boogie
him being... You said what?
Boogie to Boston.
Yeah, Boogie to Boston. We got to hashtag that, just like we did. We did the hashtag, I think, with Kevin Durant or something out. So speaking about him being unhappy, last year he had a squad. I think that might have been the best team he's ever had in his entire time in Sacramento. Not to mention Sacramento itself. That franchise is like in shambles. Like, I think that the mayor like resigned because he got hit with like a child molestation case or something. Kevin Johnson, he's a former NBA player too. Yeah. And this dude like resigned because somebody came out. He got caught basically with some charges. That team, like Boogie, has never sniffed the playoffs his entire time in Sacramento. He just became an all-star for like an official all-star for like the first time, like last year or 2 years ago or something. But he's always putting up like 25 and 10, 25 and 14. Last year they had my man, and I know this is your guy too, Rondo.
Yeah.
They had George Karl as a coach, who's a Hall of Fame coach, even though this guy is looking like a crazy snitch, like salty and bitter as hell with this book he got coming out right now. And they had a good squad last year, and then all of a sudden, they don't re-sign Rondo. You know what I'm saying?
Typical Sacramento.
You said what?
Typical Sacramento.
Yeah, typical Sacramento move.
Yeah.
Typical Sacramento move. Now, my thing was, I think the reason why they didn't bring Rondo back was because he was in Rudy Gay's ear. Because Rudy Gay and DeMarcus Cousins and Rondo, they're all like BFFs. Like, they hang out a lot, whatever. So I think Rondo was in his ear, both of their ears, like, yo, I gotta get up out of here. Like, your career's going nowhere in this city. And then Rudy Gay comes out and says, yo, when I'm a free agent, I'm not coming back. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think? What do you think is going on in Boogie's head right now, other than that money? If he is gonna resign, like what? I don't get it. Like, what do you think it is? Do you think it's a coaching, or is it something that we don't know?
Here's the thing about Boogie. Boogie doesn't come across to me as somebody who's content with just money. I mean, he obviously is getting that. He obviously is a multimillionaire already. So I mean, he shouldn't be like money hungry like that. He gonna get it.
Word.
He's pretty much a superstar at this point. So that's gonna come. I feel like he is thinking about everything. I mean, like the coach they got now, I think is pretty good. Dave Yeager. Mm-hmm. He actually did good in his last year with Memphis. They had a good record in the regular season. Went to the second round, gave the Warriors one heck of a run for their money.
Yep.
And then he just on the Grizzlies. So the coaching right now, I wouldn't blame. The front office definitely is to blame for a lot of the stuff that's going on there. And you know what I'm saying? Like last year, they had a very good team. I feel like Rondo played very good. He led the league in assists.
Again.
Point guard. Yep, Carlson did a good job backing him up. You had a decent bench. You actually had good talent when you looked at it. Bellinelli, who was a shooter.
Word.
Like more needed to come along some, but that was probably like one of the negatives. You had Kufis. You had Willie Cauley-Stein, who I felt is a good draftee for them, but they're not using him now. See, Sacramento problems. And Boogie gets like 25 and 10 in his sleep. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, they was doing good until the stuff happened, and then it was in disarray. So, for like a 2 to 3 week stretch, they lost darn near every game. So, that caused them, like, to fall off a cliff at that point. And then, you know what I'm saying? All right, so this is part of the question, though. I hate that Boogie gets a bad rap for them not making the playoffs when people don't even evaluate the total situation. They just look at him having a, quote-unquote, having a bad attitude or acting out or being emotional. And then they go on their apps or whatever and look at Sacramento's record and be like, oh, they ain't good. But Boogie, the best player, is his fault. Nah, y'all tripping.
Word. So, speaking of which, right, since you said he gets a bad rap for his attitude, Draymond Green, yo. Draymond Green, I feel like, has one of the worst attitudes in the NBA. Now, he's very passionate. I get that. That's my guy, so I do like Draymond Green. But I feel like he has one of the worst attitudes in the NBA. And nobody ever says anything about this guy because he's on the Warriors and they're always winning. He got a ring. You know, they broke all these records and all this other stuff. Like, he's a star player, this and that. But, like, come on. These people will sit here and say Boogie got a bad attitude, but Boogie has never got caught kicking another player in the balls, kicking another player in the face, or even beating up a fan at a bar because he didn't like his team. And Draymond Green has done all of this. So where's the criticism?
Hey, somebody loves him apparently. I don't know why, but I mean, like Boogie, like the most bad thing you probably heard about Boogie was him getting into it with that reporter talking about his brother,
exactly.
Which to me was actually justified. But I mean, he had to come close to. I mean, Draymond Green. Okay, you know what's funny about this guy, Draymond Green? Just a few years ago, before Golden State was elite, the main thing you ever heard about Draymond Green was that he looked like Brandon Bassett's twin.
Word.
All you ever heard, and some people tweeted, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never talk about his game. They ain't ever talk about how good he was or how much he could help Steph or play be a very good team. You never heard that at first.
Word.
Until like a couple weeks ago. Now everybody making it seem like he's just this good staple on a team. He just helps the cause with the Splash Brothers, and that's why the Warriors are so good. He's good. He's definitely helped their cause, and also in my opinion too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that situation fits him so well. That's why he's first. If he goes to, like, pretty much 29 of the other teams, I would bet for the most part he wouldn't have the same success.
I feel you.
And yes, as far as his attitude goes, I feel like him and Boogie are like mirror images as far as them being emotional. They don't hesitate to act out at all. But because I guess Boogie's on a bad team, that's why he gets the bad rap. And you know what I'm saying? Like Draymond is perceived as this guy that's just emotional. He just, you know what I'm saying? Like he like the soul, like he's like the soul and the heart and soul of the team. So that's how he's labeled. Boogie just is labeled as like a cancer or a headache. And they do the same thing. It just irks me, to be honest, man.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to one of my homies, and he's probably gonna know that he said it because he's gonna probably, if he watches this video, which I hope he does. I remember he told me this is when the OKC Thunder had the 3-1 lead on the Warriors, and they blew it. They choked. And my man was like, yo, I feel like Draymond Green can get away with murder and the refs won't call anything. Because Draymond literally does whatever he wants when he's on the court. And I'm sitting here like, you ain't even the biggest superstar on your team, but you get away with everything you want. It's just, I don't know, it's mind-boggling to me. So my question to you is,
right,
if Draymond was on the Pelicans, do you think he'd still be putting up the same numbers that he's putting up now?
Now, okay. Now, are you assuming that AD is on the team as well?
AD is still on that team. They got the same squad they got now, but you just put Draymond Green over there.
To be honest, if Draymond was on that team, I do honestly believe he would be the second best player, most likely behind AD.
I agree.
That front court would be pretty good. I think AD would have to play the 5 though with Draymond. You know what I'm saying? One thing that has helped AD is that he moved down to the 4.
Yeah.
So with he'll go back up to the 5. Best case scenario for them, if Draymond was on that team, is that they could fight for the 8th seed. Best case scenario.
I agree. I definitely.
But he wouldn't as elite.
Yeah, I don't think he's elite now either. I just feel like he's like a product of his system.
Very good role player, basically.
Yeah, that's just all I look at him. That's how I look at him. All right, so my thing is, I feel like a big reason, you also agree too, I feel like a big reason why Boogie is disgruntled and a cancer to the team is because he's in a losing situation. I feel like if he went to a new situation, he would be revitalized. And I feel like the attitude and the toughness and all that stuff that he brings to Sacramento that they just don't appreciate, I feel like it would take whatever team he's on to the upper echelon. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, since we agree that he's the best big man in the league, let me get your top 5 big men in the NBA right now.
Oh man. Okay. Boogie number 1.
Okay.
AD is number 2.
Okay.
Shoot. Let me see. Wow. Sorry, I think.
I know. I told you I was gonna put you on a hot seat.
Just off of this season alone, I got to include him. Joel Embiid. I don't know about
True.
Florida, but I feel compelled to put him in there. But you know what? Homer pick. Wait, Al Horford.
Okay.
He's been good.
What he has?
Yes, in games he's played, he's gone to get some big men who are very good. No matter who has been on the other side, he's gone with them. He's giving them buckets. He's blocked shots. I got him in there, so that's 4.
And he's hitting threes.
And he's in proficiently too.
Yep. Exactly. So number 5, baby.
Blake been out. You know what? I'm gonna say. I kind of want to say him because he's been out, but Blake, before he went out, it kind of hard for me to think of someone else. So I'm getting number 5 to Blake.
Damn, no Marc Gasol.
Blake been doing better than Marc Gasol before he got hurt. But if you want to give it to Marc Gasol because he's been, more healthy, okay, that's understandable.
Question, yo. Where does Rondo get traded to?
I'm hoping Cleveland. Like Rondo, ever since he left Boston, he been in Dallas, a team that could have been potentially good, but because of Rick Carlisle, he messed that up. He went to Sacramento. They could have been good there and possibly a playoff team, but coaching, the front office, disarray. And now in Chicago, you expect this man to flourish, and you got no shooters. From the time Rondo signed with them and then Dwayne Wade signed, you okay, no shooters on that team. You know what I'm saying? Like, people even made rap metaphors with having shooters around them, call them Rondo.
Yeah.
Everybody know Rondo needs shooters.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
of all entities that knew that, one entity that didn't know that was the Chicago Bulls organization. and now Fred Hoiberg mentions him. Fred Hoiberg is not even that. He's not even a good pro coach so
he's
far.
A trash coach, yo. Just say it. He's a trash coach.
He should consider going back to college, just like Chip Kelly.
True.
Yeah.
The people know where they can find you one more time and stuff like that, and we can wrap it up.
All right, on Twitter, my @name is His Stankiness.
Word. Y'all holla at him. Y'all holla at me. We both follow each other anyway. We can talk basketball all day. Hit us up. And that's what it is. My man, I got you.
Nation.
You said what?
Celtics Nation.
Yeah, Celtics Nation, baby. All right, bro. I got you, man. Be good, man.